Good morning, beautiful people of the great southern land and beautiful people of the world. Lucas and Star and the chickens broadcasting live from the Arc Sanctuary on this beautiful overcast day. I'll just wait for a couple of people to jump online before I get started. Give us a comment, let me know where you are in the world. Let me know how you're going. Is it warm where you are? Is it cold like it is here? This global warming thing just isn't working out, you know. Oh, we just got paused for a second. Yeah, this global warming thing isn't working out as they said it would, but that's all right, you know. Not many things do work out as they say it will. But yeah, look, I'm just going through a few posts on Facebook and you know, looking at some morning Rick, morning Kayleen. Just looking at some of these people's posts, you know, some of these spiritual leaders in quotation marks, and you know, some of the deceivers and whatever. You know, if you've got a lie, right, to achieve an agenda, then you're not really being spiritual, because you're being deceptive. Yeah, you're operating in fraud. What is this chicken doing? They're so cunning. I'm trying to go inside to get food. Morning Jody, morning Leah, morning Ross, morning Vince, morning Maria. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Please share this video if you're watching. But yeah, you know, so I've written a few things down which I'm going to get into shortly. But one of the things I saw this morning was someone had posted that something along the lines of spiritual people don't get involved in drama or chaos, something like that. The first thing I want to say, right, or it said enlightened people don't get involved in drama and chaos and whatever. The first thing that I want to say is that enlightened people, or spiritual people, don't tell other people or other enlightened people what they do and do not do on their journey, on their path, on their soul's mission, right? Any spiritual or enlightened person knows that they don't know the role of any other person or soul on this earth, right? Because we all come here for our soul's growth. Yeah, we're all on a mission for our own personal journey, for our own soul's growth. And for some people that might be, you know, to come and go pretty quickly. For some that might be to come and live a full life of you know, lavish lifestyle. For some that might be to come and live a life of hardships, you know. And this is all part of our soul's evolution. But an evolved person knows that they don't know the role of another soul. Therefore, they can't tell any other soul what their role is in this life. They can't tell them what they are here to do or what they're not here to do. They can't tell them that because they don't know. And if they're enlightened, they know they don't know. So if they're telling other people what they must or must not do, yeah, to be enlightened, they are not enlightened. And you should not, well, you know, I don't listen to them. I can't tell you what to do, but I wouldn't listen to that person. I would see them for the fraud they are, because I know that I don't know what your soul's mission is and what your soul's purpose is and where you are on your soul's journey. What I do know, yeah, is what has helped me grow, what I have learnt from my own personal experience and learning in this life. So I can share information with you and give you advice based on my experiences and my soul's growth. But I can't tell you what you do and do not do to be enlightened, right? So anyone who's telling other people what it means to be enlightened and what it doesn't mean to be enlightened, doesn't know what it means to be enlightened. Yep. Because they're lying to themselves. You know, I see all these pretty girls and you know, on Facebook, and they're just putting out this stuff, and I just look at it and I go, yeah, you're beautiful, but you're just so misguided. And you know, I don't care what you look like or who you are or what your beliefs are. I'll always just give you the truth, right? And if I don't know the truth, if I don't know the crux of it, yeah, I'll just give you my opinion. Yeah. But what I know is that I don't know what your soul's mission is. I don't know what your journey is. Some people might be here to be spiritual warriors, you know, and some people might be here just to be, you know, loving beings, right? And that's cool. Everyone has their own role. Everyone has their own spiritual journey and their own soul's growth in this lifetime. That's the beautiful thing about reincarnation. You get to keep coming back until you know, fully realize your spiritual self. Okay? So that's what I'll say about that post. And then I was watching, someone shared a video on Sadhguru, right? And he was explaining how everyone needs to get the jab. Everyone has to get the jab because it's for their health and for their medical, you know, for their health, or they should go and live in the Himalayas on the top of the hill. Yep. Sadhguru, you're a fraud, mate. I've always felt it. You know, I listened to your stuff, and one of my friends was really enthralled by you, but I always knew you're a bit of a fraud because I never fully agreed with a lot of the stuff you said. So now you're out there saying that everyone needs to get this thing because it's for their medical benefit and for their health. Mate, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a fraud. Yep. I comprehend that you believe that the earth should be depopulated, and you believe there's too many people, and that's your belief. Yep, and it may well be, or it may not be, and we'll get into that shortly. But when you're lying to the people, you are a fraud and a deceiver. You are not a spiritual guru. You're a paid, what's the word? You're just a politician. You're just another religious nut in this political scientism religion that is going on in this time. If you believe, right, that the world is overpopulated, and this goes for anybody, including you, Sadhguru, if you believe the world is overpopulated, then remove yourself. Yep. Act in honor. Yep. Be true to your beliefs and remove yourself first and foremost. That would be the honorable thing to do. And if there's a third of the population or a half of the population who believes the world is overpopulated, then they should remove themselves first and foremost. That would be the honourable thing to do. I don't know if the world is overpopulated or not. What I know, right, is that the system in place is destructive on the environment. I know that, you know, the way of life is destructive to nature. Yep. But I also know that that way of life has been educated into people. I know that way of life has, you know, people have been directed down that commercial way of life and that corporate way of life and that way of life that embodies greed and, you know, having more than we need. You know, it's advertised because people make money on that. I know that that's the way people are living right now, and that is destructive to the planet and the environment. I know that the big corporations are destructive. I don't know that the little people are destructive in that they are just, they're living it, they're buying that stuff because it's being offered. But if it wasn't being offered, they wouldn't be living it. So where does it come from? It comes from the top, right? So the top is the destructive element. It's not Joe Blow. I mean, Joe Blow contributes unconsciously, but it's those at the top who are creating that reality and offering that who are really to blame, right? If anyone's to blame, or maybe it's just a collective thing, So what's going on now with, this Slovid nonsense and all this stuff? What we're seeing is a collective effort of depopulation. And I don't have any ill will towards that. I don't have, if that's how people feel it's got to be, then okay, no problem. If you feel that you need to go and get this experimental thing to save the planet, then perhaps something in your subconscious is telling you that people need to go, and perhaps you are doing the honourable thing. Yep, perhaps you are doing the honourable thing for the greater good of mankind by going and taking that thing. And if you believe that that's how it should be, and if you believe that it should be forced on other people, then you should definitely go and get it. Yep. I saw a post the other day, someone said, it was like a meme, and they said, I'm not using my child as a guinea pig to protect your health. What a beautiful statement. I wouldn't use my children as a guinea pig to protect someone else's health, because someone else's health is their responsibility. You got these people rolling around eating McDonald's and KFC every day, right? And drinking alcohol at night time and whatever they're doing. Yeah, not exercising, not getting any sunlight, staying in their house because they're afraid of the sun, the thing that gives everything life on the planet, right? Mind you, these people are afraid of it. And they want people to go and inject their children and inject themselves and be part of an experiment to protect their health while they're sitting there eating KFC, afraid of the sun, the life bringer. So the planet is backwards, or a lot of it is. Yep. And I have no problem. Yep. I have no ill will towards those people. And if they want to go and be part of the experiment for the greater good of humanity, then, and it may be for the greater good of humanity. The longer this goes on, right? This has been going on for more than a year and a half now. If these people aren't awake yet, or these persons aren't awake yet, and they don't realise what's going on, well, go and get it. Do your part for humanity, and you may be doing more of a service to humanity than you realise. Yeah, by removing yourself if we're overpopulated. But what I also know is that we have a great, vast expanse of land. We have resources abundant, but we don't use those resources and the knowledge that we have in the way that we should. It is used for corporate greed as opposed to the betterment of humanity. Now, if you used all the resources we had for the betterment of humanity and you spread people out and people were in their communities and they were self-sustaining communities, right? And the people in those communities would only, have as many people in their community as they can sustain. Yeah, that is a sustainable way of living, right? You could have pipelines coming into the center of the country, yeah, from all over the place, pumping in pharmaceutical grade pure water, because all these things are available. You could have clean energy, that could be pumping clean energy and creating clean energy. All these things we have access to, but they're not being utilized or implemented, right? So again, I don't have a problem, yeah, if people want to go out and get this clot shot. I don't have any issues with it, right? No personal attachment to it at all. I will bring the truth, yeah, because knowing the truth and knowing what's going on, that's kind of like an obligation. Although, I'm at a point now where if they haven't got it by now, well, I'm not going to put myself out and destroy myself to try and help them, like you wouldn't get in a fight with a knife fight. You wouldn't get into a knife fight or a gunfight with someone who's suicidal just because you want to save their life, would you? Because they will kill you in order to kill themselves. Yep. If they're hell-bent on suicide and killing themselves, and that's what they want to do, they will literally kill you so they can kill themselves. You're better off just standing back and going, rightio, you've got the knife, you've got the gun, you got the shot, whatever. Just take the shot and do it. Yeah, right. Do what you want. It's a free will universe. Yep. It's not our job to interfere with their path. It is only our job to share information and share light, yeah, because that releases the burden and the karma from us. If we know all this stuff and we hang on to it, right, then, you know, in the hopes that it's going to benefit us, then we're responsible, just as responsible as the people doing it. But if we know the information and we share it, and we don't have to share it every day, we don't have to put ourselves through hell to try and get the information out there. All we've got to do is share the information to the point where we feel satisfied that we've done our part, yeah, and that their journey is their journey, and we respect that. Then you have freed yourself from the karmic burden of that knowledge, right? So, yeah, you know, it's really interesting to see. You know, if slavery has shown us anything, it's the collective consciousness and the psyche of mankind and where it's at. Now, given where the psyche of the collective has proven to be over the last 18, 20 months, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, especially for those people who think it's right to force things into other people. I don't think it's a bad thing for those people to do whatever they want with their body, right? Even if that means their demise. In fact, that would be poetic justice. Yeah, that would be natural law. That would be their karma coming back to them in instant manifestation. That's how the world works, right? But when you have people on there who are gurus and whatever, and they're all following this political scientism, statism, control religion, right, and they're lying to further their agenda, then the karma, it falls back on them because they are not being true. Yeah, they are creating a web of lies and deception that will be their own demise. Because that which we condone for others, we condone for ourselves and our family, right? So it's always best to be impartial. Respect other people's journeys, yeah? And that's it. You're not going to fight with the suicidal guy to try and save his life if he's going to kill you just to kill himself, are you? It doesn't make sense, yeah? So, yeah, it's really interesting times. The art of letting go, yeah, is a fine art. The art of letting go, of not getting attached to the outcome, of putting the information out there, but not getting attached to the outcome. Like, for instance, yesterday was the 9th of the 9th, and I said a couple of months ago, I said the 7th of the 7th, the 8th of the 8th. Sorry, yesterday was the 8th of the 8th. 7th of the 7th, 8th of the 8th, 9th of the 9th. They're your days, people. They are your days given to you, yeah, by divine guidance. Yet no one did anything for those days, right? There was no people coming together. There was none of that stuff. No one did anything for those days. Yeah. I put the information out. No one wanted to take it, yeah? Okay. I'm still here doing a video, right? The scope of my videos and the content of my videos will probably change a bit from now on. Yeah, I'm not interested in trying to convince people that they need to look into things or whatever. I don't care anymore. Yep. I am satisfied and confident that there will be enough people left, yep, to begin again a much better and a much more conscious world. I am completely satisfied and 100% confident that there are enough people who are awake and aware at this point in time as to what's going on, that we will be able to reprocreate and recreate the earth in a much more conscious and loving state of being, you know, with much more clean energy and in a much more symbiotic and harmonious way with the earth, right? I don't push the jab, but if you think that everyone should get it, then I think you should get it. That is your karma. That is direct karma. Okay, that is poetic justice. Yep. But I think everyone should make their own decisions based on their own research. Yep. They shouldn't be making their decisions based on what the media is telling them, and they shouldn't be making their decisions based on what anyone on Facebook, including myself, is telling them. They should be making their decisions based on their own personal research when it's such a, you know, a big topic, right? But if they don't have the fortitude or the willpower or the patience to do that research themselves, you know, and they are more, you know, willing and to just take someone else's word on the media, known liars, for, you know, take their word at face value and jeopardize their health and that of their family, well, that's their decision, right? Vince says a lot of those so-called spiritual people have sold out to the dark forces, Sadhguru, Dalai Lama and Deepak Chopra. Yeah, you know, and that's what this time is really beautiful for. This is really a beautiful time in that there is no fence to sit on, right? So there's nowhere to hide for people. Yep. Everyone's truth and how they are, their inner workings, their inner psyche, their inner spirit is coming out at this time, okay? And that is a beautiful thing because there is nowhere for people to hide. Yep. This is a point in time in history where the light is coming out and the dark is coming out, and people are going so far to one or the other side that there is no fence to sit on. And that's a beautiful thing because that removes the deception and the frauds within the people, right? That removes any veil that brings confusion. This is where the people find their communities and their groups, and that's the people that they will move into the future with, yep? Or go into the darkness with, or whatever it is, yep? And there's nothing wrong with going down the dark path. That's their journey. That's their soul path in this life. I'm not judging that, right? That's their choice. And I respect that choice. That is not a choice that I would ever wish to make again in my soul's evolution, yep? Because from a spiritual aspect, from a past life aspect, you know, I've experienced that. And I don't ever want to go back to that side. Yep. So I'll do what I have to do to stay in the light, whatever that means, right? Let me see. Someone said, I just lost the comment. Someone said they are trying to wipe us out, genocide. I'll see if I can find that comment. Look, they're not trying to wipe everyone out. And, yeah, it is a genocide by very definition. I mean, this is not something new. This is something that's been happening for years, even before COVID, genocide by definition. But now it's just becoming more apparent. This is something I've been speaking about for years now. So, you know, I mean, people send me links and they send me all this stuff, and I just don't even bother opening it because I'm fully well aware of what's going on. I know it's a genocide. I've been telling you this for years. Yeah? But people are just sort of coming to the realization because it's coming to that point where there is no longer a fence to sit on. There is no more scope for sitting in the dark and ignoring what's going on. You cannot ignore what's going on anymore. There is no room for ignorance. Yep. And that's it. Yep. So, yeah, look, this has been happening for years and years, and this has been happening throughout history. Yep. Throughout history. This is nothing new. But if you're aware and you're awake, right, that is the divine guidance, yep, that you have been given so that you can make your own choices for you and your family or whoever will listen, and you will find your communities, yep. Out of the dark comes the light, yeah, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And yes, people of your friends and family are going to go down the other path, and that's fine. That's their choice. That's their soul's mission. Yep, that's okay. You can't stop it what you can't stop. Yep. But as a genocide, as a what's going on, you've got to understand it's not just the people at the top. This is society, as you know, almost as a whole, or half of society is begging for this stuff to happen. And you've got to ask yourself why. Why can't they see what you see? Because they are on a different bandwidth, yeah? They're on a different frequency. The frequency is your soul's journey, yeah? They're on a different frequency. They're here for a different purpose. They are here to learn and to teach, because we can learn from their soul purpose, right? We can learn from their mistakes. Yep, that is how humanity evolves as a whole. Yep. And because so many of them are for this and pushing for this, you've got to ask yourself, well, is this the earth consciousness? Is this the collective consciousness acting in this way because there is too many people and they need to, you know, the earth needs to shake off or cut the excess fat, yeah? Needs to get rid of the excess that is causing it damage, right? You got to ask yourself that, because they're pushing for it so hard and they're completely blind to see. Maybe they're not meant to see. Maybe they're not supposed to know. Maybe they're supposed to go down that path, as hard as that may be, for people who are going to lose people. And we are all going to lose people we love. Yeah. And that's going to be part of our growth. How do we deal with that? What do we learn from that moving forward? What knowledge do we pass down to our children moving forward? Yeah. How do we learn from history so that history doesn't repeat itself, or so that history doesn't need to repeat itself, so that we can, in the future, live more harmoniously with the earth, so the earth doesn't have that excess fat to shake, yeah? So that it wants us to be here, yeah? You know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff that's going on with the UN and the agenda is stuff that I said needed to happen anyway. And I was saying this a couple of years ago in my videos. I know there's a lot of people just coming on, but I said we need to shut everything down. And because the people wouldn't do it, right? I said the people need to shut everything down to take their control back from government and to re-establish a more symbiotic nature with Earth, way of living. But the people wouldn't do that, right? The people, most persons, I should say, are too programmed in their ways that they would not stop doing what they were doing. Yeah. So I actually believe and agree that what is taking place now is in the best interests of the planet. I fully believe that. Yeah. I'm not a globalist. I'm not a whatever. But from the past 20 months, it is clear as day. Yep. Where people's psychology is. And that they simply, regardless of how much information they're shown, regardless of what they're given, they simply will not change their ways or beliefs. They are stuck in a pattern and that's it. They're not getting out of there. Maybe they have to come back in another lifetime and try again. Right? But I don't fully disagree with everything that's going on with the policies they're implementing. I don't agree with lying and deception, but I agree that, you know, humanity was on a collision course of disaster the way it was moving forward. And had it kept going forward unchecked, you know, that would have been the end of the planet. And we only have one planet, yeah? Human beings will come and go, but the planet will always be here. Yep, if we don't destroy it in the meantime. So I don't disagree with a lot of what they're doing. I disagree with some of what they're doing and how they plan to move forward and maybe, you know, keep control and power over the people. I don't agree with that. I believe we can have guidance going into the future. Yep. but not control. And you know, digital control and all that stuff. Well, that's going to be really interesting to see play out. And I'm interested to witness what happens with this human 2.0 thing. I think this is a fascinating experiment on mankind. It fascinates me. Where's this going to go? Where's this going to lead? Yep. But not everybody. Yep. You've got to have, you know, the natural population to continue civilization on Earth, which is going to happen anyway. Yep. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Yep. You might have to push through some barriers of fear, and you might have to go through some challenges. Yep. But at the end of the day, you stand true in what you know. Yep. You don't have to fight other people, but you just stand true in what you know for you and your loved ones. Yep. Whoever will come with you. And that's it. Yep. And we can start a different way, or go a different way than they're going. You don't have to go the way they're going. Let them go the way they want to go. That's fine. That's up to them. That's their choice. That's their free will. It's not our decision to take that away from them. Yep. Just like it's not their right to take away from us the way that we want to go with nature. Yep. But at the end of the day, truth will prevail. Yep. Cause and effect will have its way. Natural law will take its course. It doesn't matter what the media says. It doesn't matter what the politicians say. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what anybody says. The truth will always remain the truth. Natural law in cause and effect will have its way. It is inevitable. It cannot be changed. So don't stress. Yep. Kayleen says, to thy own self be true. Yep, absolutely. Eileen says the genocide hasn't stopped if the Indigenous Aboriginal Health keeps sending her text messages telling her she's eligible for the jab. Yep, and they can send you as many text messages as they want. You know what? Change your phone number. Right? You don't have to respond to those text messages. Yep. You don't have to go and get it. Yep. And, you know, the genocide isn't just against the Aboriginal people. The genocide is on everyone. There is no discrimination here. Right? There is no discrimination. This is the people who are aware of what's going on and the people who aren't aware. That's it. Worldwide. Yep. Doesn't matter about race, sex, colour, religion, whatever. There's no discrimination here. Yep. It is what it is. So, you know, personally, I've been warning my Aboriginal brothers and friends, mate, tell your communities to stay away from this shit. This is what they're doing. They don't care about you. They're not your friends. They never have been. Yep. Don't buy into it. But some people are getting it. Some people are going and getting it. You can't stop the people who are going to go and get it. But what we can do is provide the space and give the information so that we can carry on the culture into the future, right? Preserve the culture for the future. Yep. No worries, Warren. Thanks for tuning in, mate. A lot of the comments are doubling up. Let me just go back down to the bottom of the comments. There's a lot coming through. Thank you all for your beautiful comments. You know, really appreciate your time. You right there, Star? You want to say hello to you? Come here. Momos. Momos. Come on. Come on, Momos. Come on. Come and say hello. You don't have to bump the camera, mate. Yeah. Push, push. Momos. Little Momos. You know. Little Miss Momos. Say hello to everybody. Momos. She's so cute. She's the most affectionate cat I've ever had. You know, she's always just like laying on me, and you're so cute, aren't you, mate? I think a bit of the spirit of Dusty went into Starry. So, and she's always by my side. Shazza says it's how we are living on this planet that is harming it. Population is not the problem. And you know, and I agree with that. In this land, the Great Southern Land, I don't know about you know, other countries where they have too many or a lot of people. I don't know, but I fully agree with that. You know, it's the way that we're living on the planet. It's not the amount of people on the planet. But I could be wrong. I don't have all the information, I don't have all the answers, and I could be wrong, you know. But either way, what's happening is happening. You know, it's happening anyway. So, moving forward, how do we make the best of a situation that we might not like? You know? Yeah, you know, there's some people on here commenting that their relatives are going to be taking this thing and, you know, taking the jab, and a lot of them will, you know, and there's so many people out there in the same situation as you. You're not alone, yeah, and this is the coming together of community. I really don't see a treacherous future for mankind. You know, it's going to be a challenging couple of years or few years, yes. But I don't see a horrific and treacherous end to all of mankind at all. I see beautiful things coming in the future. That's what I feel. Yeah, I don't feel anxious about the future at all. I don't feel negative about the future. I actually feel more positive about the future, to be honest. Sophie says, what do I eat? It's very peaceful there. It is very peaceful here. At the moment, I eat a lot of rice and pasta and, you know, not as much greens as I'd like to, but I do supplement with a lot of like organic green powders and red powders, and I take a lot of vitamins and stuff. So I supplement myself a lot because I know the difference it makes in my body and my psychology when I'm having, you know, when my body is fulfilled with nutrients and vitamins as to when it's not. You know, I know the difference in energy and, you know, awareness. So, yeah, my diet's not the best, but, you know, it is what it is for this time. It is what it is, you know. Maria says they started the poison on Year 12 students, the poor kids. Yeah, you know, if you've still got your kids in those government schools and private schools that are registered to the government, meaning they abide by the government rules, if you've still got your kids in those schools, like, you need to be asking yourself why. You know, if you know this is happening and you still have your kids in those schools, well, you know, you've got to take some responsibility for what's going on in your family, right? Okay? Otherwise, you're putting the responsibility onto the school or the government, and you're allowing them to do that. Yeah. So if you know what's going on, then maybe you don't have your kids in those schools. Maybe it's time that people started creating their own homeschools, right? Where communities get together and they create their own little education systems, yeah? Don't register all, you know, you don't have to register all to the system. Get out of that. You know what I mean? Don't be in it. and complain about it constantly and then whinge when your kid goes to school and gets the jab when you knew that they were going to give him the jab or her the jab. Don't complain about it. You know it's going to happen. Take them out of there. Or don't. It's up to you. Yeah. But people do want people to blame. They always want to point the finger and blame. It's like, you know, if you know something's coming, yeah, if you know a train is coming, get off the fucking track. Yep. Don't blame the fucking train driver. Yep. Don't blame the V-Line company. If you're on the train track and a train's coming, or your kid's on the train track and a train's coming, get the fuck off the track. It's that simple. Yep. And that's it. So, that's all I really wanted to say, I guess. Tough love, yeah. Sometimes love hurts. Sometimes love is tough, yeah. Light and love is not always about airy fairy. Oh yeah, let's just give each other a hug and we'll be all right. Yeah, that's beautiful, and that helps with the growth, yeah, because we're all like human beings, yeah. Like man and woman is the positive and the negative charge that comes together to create the electrical charge that creates procreation, that brings to life. Yeah, new life, children, yeah. That's how you have a baby, the positive and the negative, the masculine and the feminine, yeah. We come together, that's a beautiful thing, yeah. But it's not all about just hugging and ignoring what's going on. That's not what love is about. Sometimes love is hard. Sometimes love hurts. Sometimes love is tough, yeah. That's what growth is about. That's what spiritual evolution is about. Spiritual growth, yep. And we're all growing at this time. We're all learning at this time. Yep. No one has all the answers. Okay? So, anyway. Speaking about no one has all the answers, the funny thing is at this point in time, right, is for myself included and a lot of people I know, that are aware of what's going on, that can see what's going on, are the people who sort of dropped out of school early or, you know, took different routes of education or didn't really fully follow the mainstream growing up, you know. And it's really interesting to see, you know. And then you have these people who have just been fully indoctrinated into the system, who are just invested with every fibre of their being in that system. And that system, right, that's the satanic system. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay, so what's happening now is a mass crucifixion. They are crucifying everybody. They are ridiculing everybody. It's a crucifixion, yeah. But anyway, that's another story. But tough love, you know, and do what's right for you, yeah? If you're going to sit there and complain and you're going to sit in your house next to a G5 tower and get microwaved and you know, get cancer in a couple of years and perish, a lot of people are going to perish from that, by the way. No one's talking about the G5 towers. No one's really talking about that stuff. That stuff's going to get just as many as the jab will get, because that is a slow kill, yeah? That's cancer causing, right, over a period of time. So if you're going to sit in your house next to a G5 tower and complain, yeah, or you're going to send your kids to school when you know that they're about to start jabbing everyone at the school and complain because you didn't decide to take evasive action and look after yourself and your family, well, you know better than the people who don't know what's going on. You know better. You might even be worse because you know what's going on and you're not doing anything about it. Yep. People say, what are you doing, Lucas? Well, I started this ark, you know, I got this piece of land and I did all this, you know, got everything here, yep, so that we could create a community. But no one wants to come and do that. Yeah, or if they do, they don't want to do anything, or they don't want to do it how I want to do it. Yeah, well, I had the foresight to create it in the first place, so maybe I have an idea of the way it's got to go. Yeah, so if you want to come and create a community with me, well, you're going to have to do some things my way, right? And that's the way it's got to be, like growing gardens, you know, weeding, creating food, making things happen. Yeah, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, Kayleen says, what's the alternative to using the internet? The alternative to using the internet is not using the internet. That's it. What did you do before the internet? Sent snail mail, letters in the post, yeah. Called people on the phone. Yeah. In fact, before the internet, you probably didn't have all the problems that you're having now and all the headaches that you're having now. Yeah, life was probably a lot simpler. I remember when I was a kid, right? I used to ring my mates on the home phone and ring them on the 77323. I can almost still remember my best mate's home phone number, right? So I'd ring him on the home phone and go, oh, I'll meet you here. And we lived like, 40 kilometres apart. I go, I'll meet you here at this time. And we'd just meet there at that time, yeah? There was no mobiles, there was none of this, none of that, yeah? That was it. And that's how, and life was simple, yeah? And it was adventurous, you know? So, yeah, and a lot of people say they're interested in working with good people, and a lot of people say that they want to, want a community, but everyone wants one that's already ready for them just to walk in and have a nice warm bedroom and a nice little warm cabin for them. And, they all want to walk into something that's already ready. They don't want to do any of the work. Yep. They don't want to have to go and find a cabin and put it together and do the hard stuff. They don't want to do that. Yeah. So, probably not going to get what you want. Yeah. Everything that's here I've had to put together with my own two hands, with very little help. And Mum had a lot to do with organising a lot of stuff, So grateful for my beautiful mum, thank God, But most of the physical stuff I've had to do myself. Yeah. Lots of swearing and, when I wanted to be surfing, I wanted to be at the beach surfing, but I knew that I had to build something here for some reason. An ark, apparently. But people say they want community and they say they want to do all these things, but they don't really. They like the idea of it, but they don't actually want to do any hard work. They don't want to actually get cold. They don't want to actually, have to cut their own firewood. If they can't switch on a switch and get warm, and switch on a switch and have light, they don't want to know about it. They don't want to live a simple life. Yeah. They don't want to be exposed to nature, to the elements. They're afraid of nature and the elements. Most people. Not all people, but a lot of people. A lot of people say they want this and they say they want that and they'll complain about that. But when it comes time to actually doing something, nah, that's too hard. Just going to go back and complain over here. All right. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching. Many blessings and much love from me and Star at the Ark. And take care of yourselves and your family. And do what you got to do, right?